Sports Video Group's Jason Dachman. We're at the Sports OTT Forum in New York City, and I am with Raphael Poplock of Bleacher Report. Raph, thanks for joining us. Appreciate it, man.
Of course. Anything for you.
So BR, you guys always have some very interesting stuff going on. Right now is no different. But let's talk about one of the big topics that has been running through this conference and any sports media meeting recently, and that's sports betting, right? I mean, we're seeing one state after another start to legalize sports betting. Once the mobile betting really starts to take off, that's when the content play, I think, will start to come in. So Bleacher Report has really pushed the way here. You guys have a studio that you opened up in Las Vegas already, kind of focused on sports betting. You guys have a partnership with Caesars. What is the strategy for you guys right now in terms of content creation and trying to play to that sports betting centric fan?
Yeah, our whole strategy is to cater to a more casual, frankly, culturally relevant fan. That's who BR caters to, as I'm sure you know. We predominantly have audience below 35 years old, so Gen Z, millennials, right up our wheelhouse. So what you're not going to see us doing is having a guy like me or you in a suit behind a green screen talking to you about parlays and teasers and really catering to the whale audience of sports betting. Instead, we want ours to be catering to that casual fan that may or may not be betting yet, someone who views it as more entertaining content. So if you look at what we've done, you alluded to it in our partnership with Caesars, that content is far more entertaining. We have Ocho Cinco, who is a regular talent for us there. He doesn't scream hardcore betting to you or to anyone, correct? Yeah. But we married that with people who actually can reputably speak about some of the lines and some of the big movements that's happening in, let's say, a football Sunday. So for us, we're going to continue to do that more fun, irreverent kind of approach, and where there's white space, that's where we want to attack. So that's from a content standpoint. From a product standpoint, look, we're being very thoughtful, deliberate, and strategic on how we cater our audience within our app, within our ecosystem. As we talked about a little bit in the conference, I alluded to, everyone seems to be matchmaking right now, whether it's Yahoo and MGM, Fox has Fox Bet. Everyone's got a sports book. We're the last large player that hasn't done that yet, and it's purposeful. We want to make sure whoever we work with shares our sensibilities, understands who and how we want to integrate sports betting mechanisms into our ecosystem. So we're spending a lot of time there. I think you'll see going forward, we're going to be very innovative in our approach. We want to make sure it's connected to everything else we have in our BR app. The last thing I'll say is that despite all of that, our audience does show a great propensity of having interest in sports betting. 82% of our fans have told us that they have interest in this space. We have a BR betting stream already that has 4x the engagement of any other stream in our app right now and on social. So we know that it's a very vibrant and dynamic audience, but we also know there's only one shot at doing it. And as legislation starts getting more and more broad, we think we'll be ready to go and have an incredible experience, whether it's content related, product related, you name it.
And your users are waiting for it. You said more than 80%, tend to be, betting focused. You said it. Look, Bleacher Report equals millennials, equals, Gen Zers, equals, that below 35 demo. And let's face it, that's not a demo that necessarily watches an entire game, that watches long-form content. And you guys have really played to that kind of strength with some of the short-form content. Obviously, House of Highlights and some of the platforms that you guys have pushed out for highlights. How is that evolving, and how are you guys looking to continue to embrace that short-form mentality as user habits tend to change more and more with those demographics?
Yeah, look, for us it's all about thinking about what audience resonate to what depending on what platform they are. So you have to cater to a custom content experience, no doubt about it. So yes, you're right. We have the largest scale out there when it comes to social, whether that's Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, Snap, you name it. But there's new entrants that come along all the time. TikTok is one, where we talked about it in there, where we onboarded a few of our brands about 3 months ago, and we're seeing 5 million plus users in aggregate, and they actually skew female, which is great for us to try to attract to a more diverse audience. But who we are in trying to service to that next generation of sports fans is really being mindful on where the audiences are and what we do to make sure we are getting the highest engagement possible on a per platform basis. So what it may be on social is short, quick snippet highlights will be most attractive, or in House of Highlights, it can be real-time highlights with leagues or even the user-generated stuff that it's been known for many years. But on platforms like HBO Max, which is coming out in a few months, we want to make sure our brand is there, and we, since it's all within the family, are supporting that to the best of our abilities. Or some of our platforms that we partner with, again, off-platform that may not be within the family, the Showtimes of the world, we're going to do long-form documentaries because that caters to that more lean-back experience. So we are very mindful to engagement, we're knee-deep in analytics, and we're really thinking about how we continue to innovate and disrupt and really drive that engagement that I mentioned.
Well, we're excited to see where BR is headed throughout 2020 across every platform with a variety of different content. Raph, thanks so much for joining us.
Thanks for having us.
And stay tuned to sportsvideo.org for more news from the Sports OTT Forum in New York City.